So what is Merkaba meditation? Merkaba meditation is actually a replica of Kundalini meditation. However, Merkaba meditation originated from ancient Egypt, and its roots are pretty much just as similar as Kundalini meditation, where it's working with chakras and it's working with the divine self, so you can access not just your soul within, because you can't just talk to your soul. You have to access it through a certain method. And Kundalini and Merkaba, what they do is not only do they let you go within your body and let you contact your own soul, so you can, find out about your true self from your soul, but it gives you access to another dimension. I have made a video on Kundalini meditation and how once I was initiated, and I just in my first try, I experienced the most profound visions and the most amazing world around me when I was in the Kundalini meditation. Okay, Merkaba is pretty much the same thing. However, Merkaba works on the visualization of a geometrical figure known as the flower of life, and I have also made the video on that. Flower of life, all it is, it's a construction of 64 tetrahedron structures. Tetrahedron meaning the shape of the pyramid. You know how pyramids are four-sided and it becomes like a cone. So what flower of life is, what it represents is that two tetrahedron structures in topsy-turvy situation merging into one another. Okay, so once these two pyramids merge into one another, just imagine upside, this is the pyramid, like this, and then there's a pyramid on top, and then they merge into one another. And when they merge in, the center point, the center point where the equator is of both of them, it starts emitting an energy. It's sort of an energy that rejuvenates things. It creates a new sort of electricity. So what Merkaba, the flower of life, represents, it represents the beginning of life. Because according to Nassim Haramein, and I know there has been many others, but I came to know about this through Nassim Haramein, that the universe was actually formed through a black hole. There was a black hole in the beginning of the universe, and through the black hole life began, because black hole is also constructed on the same method of two tetrahedron structures merged into one another, and the things recycles from the bottom and the top, and this non-stop rejuvenation creates life. And that's what Merkaba meditation does. Merkaba meditation, once you are in your meditative state, you have to imagine this image of this tetrahedron structures, not just in your mind, but you have to imagine it's around your body, and you're in the middle of that flower of life symbol. So this is why it is the most mystical type of meditation. Now, what I pretty much gathered through researching on Merkaba meditation was that it's not of human origins. Just like Kundalini, and Merkaba both came at the same time. And they're pretty much linked together. It's like how the pyramids emerged at the same place around the same time, whether it was in Mexico in the Mayan city, or it's in Egypt or China. And this is why the roots of astrology with Kundalini meditation and Merkaba meditation all emerged at the same time, and that is probably due to this species, or this intergalactic species called the Anunnakis. Anunnakis, are these 25 feet tall beings that came back in the Sumerian time in Baghdad, Iraq. And they also, in the Puranas, in the Hindu Vedas, when talking about the hollow earth theory, they are also talking about these intergalactic beings who were tall, and who were these, they weren't really saying these are intergalactic beings, they were saying they were the gods. There were certain gods, because back then people were so undeveloped in terms of their thinking that anything that was out of ordinary became God. If you were there in in time travel back in 3, 4, 5,000 years ago, if you just had a cell phone with you, like an iPhone, you would become God. You would become the God of cell phone. That's how it was. So they couldn't really understand what was going on, what these spaceships were, but they just knew that these are gods, because gods always came from heaven. So Merkaba and Kundalini were most likely a gift by the Anunnakis to us to develop our consciousness, to develop our mind. Okay, and yet what we do is we take this into these religious texts, thinking that people are us humanoids out of nowhere came up with these miracle giving and godly things out of nowhere. Maybe God gave it to us. That's the only thing that they could come up with, and it has been passed down through generations, thinking that, oh, it was actually the humans who did that. But no, it was the intergalactic beings who did this. And there's substantial evidence in Egypt, in the City of Kings, in Baghdad, Iraq, about Anunnakis. And the conspiracy is that the Iraq war that has happened this time, since 2001, is actually to collect the evidence of Anunnaki technology that Saddam Hussein was holding. I don't know anything about it. I've heard it from other groups and other people who are into these things. Now, according to Nassim Haramein, in the city of, I believe it was City of Kings in Egypt, where they found not a carved symbol of flower of life, okay, but a laser burnt symbol of flower of life. And back then, there was no technology of laser burning, okay? Especially the way the rocks are cut in Egypt. Some of these rocks are so precisely cut and so smoothly that we can't even do it right now if we wanted to. It will require a lot of manpower, even now, to have that cut, the way it's just cut. Where we think that through Nassim Haramein, oh God, sit down, Yash. What we think that, according to Nassim Haramein, that they had the laser technology, which is kind of like a lightsaber, went through the rock and just cut it. That's it. So anyway, just wanted to give you a little background on Merkaba meditation and how people are actually able to connect to other dimensional beings like the Pleiades and these perhaps Anunnakis. I mean, what the visions that I saw in Kundalini are the visions that I put in my sci-fi book Kairos, when I saw these blue-colored beings. I mean, and you know what? After that, I only had that vision twice, and after that, I kept trying, and didn't come through. But then I was seeing other things. I was seeing other visions. I wasn't seeing them. I was seeing other kind of beings. But anyway, pretty much, if you want to know Merkaba meditation, learn about the flower of life. Okay, learn about I believe it's the Sudog temple in China that also has the flower of life symbol underneath the tiger. Okay. Now, I forgot to add the most important part of this meditation, and that's why I'm just re-adding this in my video, even though my video was done in the morning. And that's why I have this different change of clothing. But the most important thing I want to mention about Merkaba and Kundalini meditation is that they work off on the process of breathing. Okay? And the way it works is this. You breathe in deeply, okay? Very deep. And you do not exhale just quick. You exhale also at the same rate. Okay? And you do this to the entire process of Merkaba. See, there's different types of Kundalini and Merkaba meditation. The one that I'm telling you is that just not about sitting still. It's actually about using the oxygen as a part of connecting with your body and other, perhaps dimensions. And the reason you need to remember about breathing through your nose, deeply and then exhaling slowly, is that you're not breathing through your nose. That's what Merkaba and Kundalini says, especially in the Vedas, that do not breathe through your nose, rather breathe through your spine. So when you're in a meditative state and you're breathing, imagine the oxygen is going in and out through your spine. Okay? So it is releasing through your root chakra, and it's coming in through your root chakra and into your lungs. And what is that doing is that Since your spine holds all these veins, these microscopic veins that relates to your brain, lungs, heart, everything in your body, it's like a main network. What oxygen is becoming when you're concentrating on the breathing is that it's becoming a current. It's becoming a light. So when the light goes through these microscopic veins and all through your body and all through your veins, it is energizing everything. It's like pretty much like a battery. It's energizing all the chakras, energizing all the organism, energizing the microscopic veins and muscles that you probably have never even used. And this is why your senses become really really sensitive and aware. Like usually people suffer for at least 1 or 2 months tinnitus. Tinnitus is ringing in the ear. Okay, and I am going through that. Okay, and I did go through that last year also during Kundalini. That because the ringing in the ear is not because something is damaged within your inner ear. With this meditation, okay, what's happening is that your vibrations are increasing. So don't be scared, when this happens after the vibration, after this meditation, right away. It's just that it means that your vibration is, tuning in with the rest of the dimensions. But again, obviously go to your doctor and say what's going on. But this is what I experienced. This is what I was told, and I went through it. And a lot of you must be wondering, why the spine? According to the Vedas, according to the Puranas, it says that spine holds your destiny. Okay, spine holds the reason why you're here in this world. So when you energize the spine and all your microscopic veins get that light, get that energy that you may not have ever used before, kind of like the Matrix, you suddenly realize who you are, why you're here. So if you're a stockbroker or insurance salesman and you do the Merkaba or Kundalini, you may realize that, what, my destiny lies in helping the poor in Africa. Or my destiny lies becoming a writer. My destiny lies in becoming a musician or an artist. And suddenly you will leave that because you will realize who you are. This is why these kind of meditation are far more important than just a regular meditation, because of the fact you get to find out who you are more than even contacting Pleiades or Anunnakis or any kind of fourth or fifth dimensional being. You get to know who you are. And I give you this information which is steadily available on the internet. It's not like I'm going out there discovering or talking to Nassim Hermain and giving you this unique information. No, it's just the information now is out there. It was out there much before I got into these things. But you see, what happens is that until somebody tells you about something new, you would not look for it. I mean, I wouldn't have looked for the alien moon base until I came across somebody who told me, hey, you know what? There's actually a rumor and these conspiracies that there is a base on the moon, this alien base on the moon. And once I researched, there was this whole cathedral of information. So all I do is when I find something new and interesting, I present it to you in a YouTube video. But that doesn't mean that I'm coming up with these unique things or I'm doing some hardcore research. It's just once I tell you, next time something comes up regarding meditation or aliens, you would know that, hey, you know what? I watched that video on YouTube that was also talking about Merkaba meditation related to Kundalini and the Anunnakis and the aliens. Hey, let me pass this information on to you. And this is how this network will transform us into the new world, will take us all into the new world. We have to make these information like a virus, you see. A virus can affect a lot of people at the same time. Okay, so when this information like these passes on from one person to the other, it pretty much is spreading, and the mind is actually wanting to know more. Before mathematics, if you told somebody 2 + 2 = 4, they would have thought this was the most amazing information in the world. They have found God. Okay, but once our mind goes to that level, then we go to things like trigonometry, calculus, like matrix calculus, analysis. So, our mind keeps developing and we think more, our brain expands. So that's how it is. That's all I'm doing. I'm just playing my part of passing certain information on so you can open up a little bit more of your petals. So I hope this helped. Anyway, check out my website on astrology, which also relates to Anunnakis, at the link below. Thank you.